गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्यालय प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्री गुरुदेव की जय। नित्यालय प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्यालय प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यालय प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्यालय प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शत शिशिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्यालय प्रविष्ट महाभागवत श्री गौर किशोर दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। नित्यालय प्रविष्ट श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्यालय प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानुग गौरी गुरु वर्ग की जय। नित्यालय प्रविष्ट श्री भक्ति विज्ञान भारती गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्यालय प्रविष्ट श्री भक्ति वल्लभ तीर्थ गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्यालय प्रविष्ट भक्तिदायित माधव गोस्वामी श्री भक्तिदायित माधव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्यालय प्रविष्ट वैष्णव साई नित्यालय प्रविष्ट श्री भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्यालय प्रविष्ट श्री भक्ति रक्षक श्रीधर गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। स्वपार्षद श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय श्री बलदेव विभूषण प्रभु की जय। श्री विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर की जय। श्री नरोत्तम श्रीनिवास श्यामानंद प्रभु त्राय की जय। श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी पाद की जय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शौर गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम चय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौरमंडल ब्रजमंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योगमाया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। जय श्री श्री सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। श्री कल्याण कल्पतरु शरणागति गीतावली गीतमाला की जय। जय श्री लघु-चंद्रिका-bhāṣya श्री भक्ति रक्षक श्री गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। Oh, and today is an associate of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, Srila Bhakti Alok Paramahansa Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Todiya Shubha Avirbhav Titi ki jai. And you can find his glories on vcvani.com. Oh, and for those of you on the other side of the world, I think it is still, right, it's Srila Gadadhar Pandit ki jai, Todiya Shubha Avirbhav Titi ki jai. जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Hare Krishna. Pranams everybody. Okay, so we'll start the Mangala Charan and then we'll begin the program after that. Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidito Gaudiya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Varat Mingilo Daragatan Udrita Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudhapti Gahana Sukham pradat prabhung tang bhaje. Vande Shri Vande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhim Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachirananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Parayate Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Vrishabhanusutan Vitavamatano Yamuna Tatanagara Sutam Murali Kalagita Vinoda Parang Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidum Smara Gora Gadadara Keli Kalam Bhava Gora Gadadara Pakshachara Shrinu Gora Gadadara Charukatam Pajagodruma Kanana Kunja Vidum Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvam Nayamang Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptascha Kamadittaranga Madhye Kripa Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanaravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Bol. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Let's see. Also, just I see there are 10 people on YouTube and Facebook, but I don't see the names of anybody unless you write a comment there. But pranams Indira Mataji, and here on Zoom, who is there? One second, let me just Sarveshwari Mataji, Ashray Prabhu, Simran Pind, Simran Pindkar, Sarvabhauma Manjulali Didi, Gurunishta Prabhu, Manjari Didi, Gauranga Prabhu, Shri Devi Didi, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Archana Didi, Satya Mataji, and Krishna Mai Didi. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Hare Krishna. So, one second, let me just. Okay, I'm just spotlighting myself. There. Okay. So today I actually was, first of all, I was planning on having like speaking a little bit, like having a little monologue at the beginning, but now I'm seeing, since we have a lot to read today, we're going to read the introduction to this book. And also Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Gosvāmī Mahārāja, he writes a commentary on this first song, the introductory song that we're going to go over, and it's a little bit more in depth. And so today's going to just be a reading day. And but then other days I will, other days I want to go through Śaraṇāgati, and there are many different definitions that our acharyas have given about Śaraṇāgati. And yeah, we'll hear about how Śaraṇāgati is synonymous with Shraddha. Shraddha is the inner portion of the seed of bhakti that Sri Guru plants in the heart, and Śaraṇāgati is the outer symptom of that Shraddha. Anyways, we'll hear all these definitions and everything in the following days. We're going to have 50 days to talk about Śaraṇāgati, so I'm going to also save a little bit for each day. All right, so I'm going to share my screen now, and at the beginning of each program, we're going to start every program by glorifying Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. We're going to read, we're starting with this article by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, which was published in The Harmonist, also known as Sajantoshini. And it is a very powerful article all about how to approach the proper method of approaching these transcendental words of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur that we're going to be spending time with every day now. So we'll read that. Then I'll read the introduction to this Srila Bhakti Rakṣaka Sridhar Gosvāmī Mahārāja's Laghu-candrikā-bhāṣya, the gentle moonlight commentary. That's what it's called. And then we will go through the song, the introductory song again, and understand all, like we'll learn about all the words in more detail. So that's our program for today. Okay. So, oh, my brother's there. Haribo Krishna Murari and Pramila Mataji and Indu Mohini, Vidyalala Sadidi, Rupmanjari Didi. Haribo. Oh wait, and I'm just checking the chat really quick. Okay. Oh, Sarveshwari Mataji, I'll let you know afterwards. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Mahima. Okay. So this is from the article. It's called, oh, I didn't put the title of the article. Anyways, it's called Thakur Bhaktivinoda, the speciality of his Vani, I think, something like that. And we actually had we had 2 Raise of the Harmonist Ishtagoshti sessions on this. This is what we started off our program with. So if you want to hear like a whole discussion on this, then you can, yeah, I can send you the link to that. Okay. This was published what year? 1931 in the Harmonist. Okay. And this Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote in English. So these are his direct words, not a translation. We avail of the opportunity offered by the anniversary celebrations of the advent of Thakur Bhaktivinoda to reflect on the right method of obtaining those benefits that have been made accessible to humanity by the grace of this great devotee of Krishna. Thakur Bhaktivinoda has been specifically kind to those unfortunate persons who are engrossed in mental speculation of all kinds. This is the prevalent malady of the present age. The other acharyas who appeared before Thakur Bhaktivinoda did not address their discourses so directly to the empiric thinkers. They had been more merciful to those who were naturally disposed to listen to discourses on the absolute, without being dissuaded by the specious arguments of avowed opponents of Godhead. Srila Thakur Bhaktivinoda has taken, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur Bhaktivinoda has taken the trouble of meeting the perverse arguments of mental speculationists by the superior transcendental logic of the absolute truth. It is thus possible for the average modern readers to profit by the perusal of his writings. That day is not far distant when the priceless volumes penned by Thakur Bhaktivinoda will be reverentially translated by the recipients of his grace into all the languages of the world. And now that that day has come. So many, but there's still lots of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's works that haven't been translated into English. Many have, but there's still some left. So, yeah. But there are many translations of Śaraṇāgati. I think I know of 6 translations. 6 translations. And now I'm working on a 7th. Okay, so now we're reading the everyday little glories of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and then something on the topic of Śaraṇāgati. So this is the introduction to this little book here by Srila Bhakti Rakṣaka Sridhar Gosvāmī Mahārāja. He said, when I entered Sri Gaudiya Math, I received Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's small Bengali book, Śaraṇāgati, for the very first time. It was so sweet. It was so sweet to me that I purchased several copies and distributed them amongst my friends. Its price was only 4 paise. It was so sweet. It touched my heart. I thought, here is Krishna. Kṛṣṇa-caitanya talks of Krishna. Kṛṣṇa-caitanya is Krishna himself. Here is talk about Krishna, the adhokshaj, the transcendental. I later composed a short commentary when I was in Nandagram, and it is published along with Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentary in Bengali. Wow, so this book was written in Nandagram. Interesting. I wrote an introductory poem to the commentary on Śaraṇāgati. Okay, so this is the introductory poem, I guess. Svairacharabdi samagnan Jivan gorangri pankaje Udhritya sharanapater Mahatmyam samabodhaya. All the conditioned souls are sammagnan. They are diving or struggling in the ocean of svairachara, or that means pleasure seeking, anyabilash, immoral or whimsical activities. And gorangri pankaje udhritya. That means taking them out of that ocean. You put them in the lotus. You took them to the lotus feet of Gauranga. You collected them from the wide, troubled ocean and gave them to the lotus feet of Gauranga. Udhritya sharanapater mahatmyam samabodhayat. And also, having placed them there, you began to instruct them about the great nobility and high value of Śaraṇāgati, exclusive surrender. And samabodhayat. You tried to make them understand and realize the efficacy of Śaraṇāgati proper. You, my Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, did so. So I bow unto you first. I bow down unto you first. Then I also wrote a verse offering obeisance to the writer of Śaraṇāgati, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. I wonder if that's this pranam mantra that we read here, or maybe he wrote another one. But this is written by Srila Bhakti Rakṣaka Gosvāmī, what we're saying in our Mangalacharan every day. So what we just read is a passage from Sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, Volume 1. Oh, it looks like that. Anyways, that will come up, his pranam mantra to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur later on. Okay. So now here's the preface to Śaraṇāgati written by Srila Bhakti Rakṣaka Gosvāmī. Oh, wow. Gauranga Prabhu says that they're also translating Śaraṇāgati into Portuguese. Now Sri Gauranga Samaj. Oh, Gauranga Samaj is such an awesome article. And Haribol Vrinda Didi and Namras Prabhu, Haribol. Okay, so the preface to Śaraṇāgati by Srila Bhakti Rakṣaka Gosvāmī. I haven't read this yet either. I'm reading it for the first time with all of you. Bhagavad Bhaktita Sarvam Ityutsrija Vider Api Kainkaryam Krishna Padaika Shrayatvam Śaraṇāgati. Being governed by the faith that all success is achieved by serving the Supreme Lord, to abandon servitude even to scriptural injunctions, and take exclusive refuge in the lotus feet of Sri Krishna in every time, place, and circumstance, is known as Śaraṇāgati, unconditional surrender. So this is the definition of Śaraṇāgati given by Srila Bhakti Rakṣaka Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. Seems very similar to the verse Sarva Dharma Parityaja, right? We give up all dharma, all adharma, and just surrender unto me. right? And here also he's saying, give up even scriptural servitude, even to scriptural injunctions, and take exclusive refuge in the lotus feet of Krishna at every time, place, and circumstance. That is Śaraṇāgati. And see, it's governed by faith that all success is achieved. So Shraddha, see, all success is achieved by serving the Supreme Lord. And so we don't need to worry about anything else. That's Śaraṇāgati. Okay. The Supreme Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya Dev clearly, and this translation, by the way, is this translation is by Srimati Devamai Didi, the mother of Rukmini and Rukmanjari Didi, who are both with us right now. The Supreme Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya Dev clearly and boldly declared in this world the message that the wealth of Sri Krishna Prem, our loving devotion for the Supreme Lord Krishna, is the fifth, the ultimate, and the supreme fulfillment of human life. This fulfillment contemptuously dismisses the other four kinds of fulfillment, namely, 1, religious duties as opposed to selfless loving devotional service. 2, accumulation of wealth. 3, fulfillment of mundane desires. And 4, liberation from the cycle of birth and death. To enlighten the living entities of the world that Śaraṇāgati, or the path of exclusive self-dedication and submission by taking shelter of the Supreme Lord, is the only way of attaining this greatest jewel of fulfillment. Sri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya Dev descended with his close associates in Sri Navadvip Dham. He himself, and also his worthy followers, whom he appointed, taught this process by both preaching and practicing it. Sorry, I have something in my throat. One. Sorry. Okay. Later, in the 19th century, one of his most renowned and respected devotees, considered to be his eternal associate, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, wrote and published this little book called Śaraṇāgati. In this book, he is giving detailed instruction about this process of devotional practice by describing and analyzing its different parts and subparts. Before this, other acharyas, or spiritual teachers, have also given many instructions about this process. Also in Srimad Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, the core teaching of Śaraṇāgati can be seen. In the school of the Sri Sampradaya of South India, the process of exclusive submission to the Supreme Lord is also well known. Yet, the way the original form and concept of Śaraṇāgati, which is the most worthy means of attaining the wealth of loving devotional service to the Supreme Personality, the unalloyed absolute truth, the son of the king of Raj, the autocrat, and the lover of the gopis. So that form and concept of Śaraṇāgati has been expressed by Sri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya Chandra. That form and concept of Śaraṇāgati is unequaled in its perfection. So other sampradayas, they also teach Śaraṇāgati, but the Śaraṇāgati taught by Sri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya Chandra is unequaled in its perfection. It establishes us in our unique ras, our relationship with Sri Krishna. Therefore, in the very first verse invoking auspiciousness, while Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is outlining the subject matter, he is also, in order to distribute the concept of this famous Śaraṇāgati, he's also declaring the blessings of the most munificent incarnation by invoking the name of Sri Chaitanya Chandra. Okay, so that's from the preface. That was the preface. And now we will go over the introductory song. And all these, everything that I mentioned this yesterday, but I'm just going to mention again, in case anybody wasn't here yesterday. Everything that I'm reading here, this commentary, what I'm reading from right now is publicly available to everybody. If they want to access it, they can go to my website, vineofdevotion.com. Where is it? Here's Vine of Devotion. If you go to right there at the top of the page, there's Bhakti Vinod Giti Dhara there. And then if you scroll down the last button here, I mean, that last thing right here, it says daily Bhagavad Gita program and reading and songs. So there, everything that I prepare for each program throughout the whole month is available here. So you can, I have it like in a calendar view, and I have everything that I'm preparing for all these programs, so you can access them all. All right. I wonder, should we sing through the song first, or should we read through it and then sing it at the end? Either way, it works. I guess I'll just read through it. Let's read through it. Okay. Actually, let me see what the chat says. Sing twice. Okay. Sure. Okay, let's do that then. One second. I'm just going to turn off this noise suppression. Okay, and as I mentioned yesterday, we will sing this song every day throughout this program, this introductory song of Śaraṇāgati, and I'll sing it in different melodies. But maybe because, yeah, I mentioned yesterday that these songs are so dynamic, they have so many different moods, and like they encompass so much. And so when you sing different melodies, it brings out different moods of the kirtan. But it's not like every song just has to be sung this way. It's nice to sing them in many different ways. And so right now, I think for a few days, I'll just sing this one melody so that we become more familiar with it, and then I'll change to a different melody. Wait, did I shut off noise suppression? Yeah, okay. One second, I'm just drinking some water. In the morning time, my throat's usually not very strong, and I can't even hit all the notes properly. So evening time, my throat's a lot better, but just, yeah, let you know. God, I have something stuck in my throat. Shri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya, Prabhu, Jīve daya kori, Swapārshara Śrīdhara sahayava tari, atyanta durlabha prema koribare dana, shikhaya Śaraṇāgati bhakatera prana, danyayatma nivedana, goptritve varana, avashya rakhive Kṛṣṇa vishvasa palana, avashya rakhive Kṛṣṇa vishvasa palana, Bhakti anukula matra Kājera Śrīkara, Bhakti prati kula bhava varjanangi kara, Śaranga Śaraṇāgati hoibe jahara, tahara prarthana shune Śrī Laghu-kumar, rupa sanatana pare, dante trina kore, rupa sanatana pare, dante trina kore. Bhakti vinod pade duhu pada dhori. O kandiya kandiya bole amito yadhama shikhaye Śaraṇāgati koro he uttama. Kandiya kandiya bole amito yadhama. Kandiya kandiya bole amito yadhama. Shikhaye Śaraṇāgati koro he uttama. Shikhaye Śaraṇāgati koro he uttama. Jai Rupa Sanatan, Jai Rupa Sanatan, Rupa Sanatan, Jai Rupa Sanatan, Jai Swapashara, Jai Gaura Hari, Swapashara, Jai Gaura Hari, Jai Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Vinod, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Vinod. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Okay, so now we will go through all the words, the explanation by Srila Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīla Gosvāmī of each word. Oops, once again, just looking at the chat. Oh, Karuna Maididi said read it first. Maybe next time we'll do that. Yeah, because I think doing it at the beginning and end every day might take too much time. Okay, so where is this? So every word that you see highlighted here is, this is something that Srila Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīla Gosvāmī will explain. And then I made a toggle menu here. So if you just click on this arrow, then you'll find the explanation of each word. Like that. See, Swapashad. There. So, Shri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya Prabhu, Jīve doya kori, Swaparshad Swiya Dhama, Saha Avatari. Oh, and just one thing, we'll go into this in more depth later on. But just letting you know, whenever you see this apostrophe next to a verb like this, it's actually a contraction. That is for iya. So actually it's Shri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya Prabhu Jīve doya koriya, and then Swaparshada Swiya Dhamma Saha Avatariya, like that. But yeah, this is a contraction, and we'll learn about what koriya and avatariya, that iya at the end, we'll learn what that means later on. But just wanted to So, out of compassion for the living beings, Shri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya Mahaprabhu descended in this world along with his personal associates in divine abode. Saha means with, so with, and Swiya means his, so with his own dham, and Swapashad, and with his associates, his parshad, along with them, Saha, along with them, Avatariya, having descended, he had descended with his parshads and his Swiya dham, his own dham. Jīve doya kori, out of compassion for the living, for the jivas. Shri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya Prabhu. Yeah, I think that those words are all clear now, right? So, Laghu-candrikā-bhāṣya. Srila Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīla Gosvāmī will now explain in depth the meaning of Shri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya, giving. Most of Srila Bhakti Rakṣaka Śrīla Gosvāmī's commentary actually is just quotations from different scriptures. He didn't really write so much of his own words. It's mostly, just giving quotations. Shri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya is the sannyas name of Shri Gaurasundar. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya uses this name in his prayers to the Lord. That's the meter for this. Kalan nashtam bhakti yogam nijangya pradush kartum Krishna Chaitanya nama avir bhutastasya padaravinde gadam gadam liyatam chitta bringa. That's in Chaitanya Bhagavat, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's prayers. You'll find it Antya Khanda 3:123. It means, may the honeybee of my heart be ever more deeply attached to the lotus feet of He who has now appeared as Sri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya to revive the practice of devotion to Himself, which had become lost due to the influence of time. In Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Khanda, chapter 28, verses 175 to 176, and verse 181, Sri Gaurasundar's sannyas ceremony is described. Okay, so we're going to read about how one Mahaprabhu got this name, Sri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya. Jalagat jatar jagat tere tumi Krishna boli aila kori aila Chaitanya kirtana prakashila eteke tomar naam Shri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya sarvaloka toma hoite jate hoilo dhanya. So Sri Keshav Bharati said, you have induced the whole world to chant Krishna's name and brought everyone to life, to Chaitanya, by inaugurating the Sankirtan movement. Therefore, your name will be Shri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya. Because of you, everyone in the whole universe has become fortunate. And Kṛṣṇa-caitanya means Krishna consciousness, right? So Srila Prabhupada established the International Society for Kṛṣṇa-caitanya, Krishna consciousness. Mahaprabhu brought everyone Chaitanya, life, consciousness, by inaugurating the Sankirtan movement. He no mate sannyasa koriya Prabhu dhanya prakashilo atmanam Shri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya. In this way, the Lord gloriously accepted sannyas and revealed His name, Shri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya. Now we're going to hear the explanation of Swaparshad, his own associates. This means his servants, as is implied in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 25. Yanti deva vrata devan pitrin yanti pitri vrata bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti mad yajino pimam. Those who are devoted to the demigods go to the realm of the demigods. Those who are devoted to the ancestors go to the realm of their ancestors. Those who are devoted to the ghosts and spirits go to the realm of such beings. And those who are devoted to me come to me. They reside in my abode. So do we want to go to Krishna? Well, this Śaraṇāgati is explaining the process to go not to all these other places, to the demigods or to the ancestors or to all these other places, but it's teaching us how to go directly to Krishna. And if we don't follow this Śaraṇāgati, we'll go any other place. So it's very important. Okay, now that was the explanation of Swaparshad. Now the explanation of Dham, abode. This means the spiritual domain of the Lord. Krishna describes his abode in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, verse 6. Na tad bhāsayate suryo, na shashanko na pavaka. Yad gatva na nivartante, tad dhama paramang mama. Having reached my supreme abode, which cannot be illuminated by the sun, the moon, or fire, in other words, anything material, the surrendered souls never return to this mundane world. Yad gatva, once having gone there, na nivartante, there is no more return. Tad dhama paramamama. Once you having gone there to that tad dham, to that dham, to my abode, which is mama is my, and paramam, supreme abode. Okay, so that is the explanation for this first verse. Now we'll go over the second verse. Once we go back to home sweet home, there's never returning to this world again. Now, atyanta durlabha prema kori bare dan shikhaya Śaraṇāgati bhakater pran. in order to bestow the extremely rare treasure of Prem Bhakti, Atyanta Durlabha Prem, Koribaridan, in order to bestow that, Koribaridan, he taught Śaraṇāgati, which is the life and soul of the devotees, Bhakater Pran. Oh, and just something, this is probably already clear to you, but I'm just going to explain it in case it isn't. In these kirtans, like in the songs, often you'll find words extended. Like instead of bhakter, it says bhakater. Sometimes instead of bhakti vinod, he'll write bhakati vinod. Sometimes instead of karma, they'll write karama, or dharma, or pran. You know, pran means life, right? It'll say paran. That's to make it fit the meter. Yeah. And we went over yesterday the possessive case, right? Oh, Champak Mataji, be careful not to. How do I get rid of that? 1 second, let me just remove the line. I've never used that feature in Word. Oh, there's an eraser. Boom. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Now how do I get rid of this? There. Okay. So, sorry. Let's hear Srila Gosvāmī's explanation of Atyanta Durlabha Prem. The most rare form of Prem. This refers to the fifth, the ultimate end of human life, Shri Krishna Prem. The rarity of Shri Krishna Prem has been noted by Srila Rupa Gosvāmī and his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.36. I remember when I was living in Jagannath Puri, the temple commander made every brahmachari learn this verse here. It explains how rare bhakti is. Jnanata sulabha muktir bhuktir yagyadi punyata seyam sadhana sahasrar hari bhakti sudurlabha, extremely rare. And remember, we went through this, we went over this word yesterday. Dur means like far off, difficult, and labh means attainment. So it's very difficult to attain, very rare. So Shiva says, liberation, moksha, is easily attained by cultivating knowledge of Brahma, Gyan. Heavenly enjoyment, bhukti, is easily attained by performing various types of pious activities, karma, such as sacrifices. However, even by following thousands of different spiritual practices, Hari Bhakti is extremely difficult to attain, as it requires servitude to the Lord's pure devotees, a proper conception of the Lord's divine nature, being firmly fixed loving attachment for the Lord, devoid of any impurities, asakti, and the Lord's merciful acceptance of the practitioner. In the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 1, verse 4, this most rare form of prem, which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to distribute, is described as follows. And this is one of my Gurudev's favorite verses. I mean, he'd explain this verse so often. Anarpita charim chirat karunaya vatirna kalo samarpaitum unatojvala rasam svabhakti shriyam hari purata sundara dyuti kadamba sandipita Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuratuva Shachi Nandana. We actually made a whole documentary on this verse. My Gurudev's explanation of this verse. So, may the radiant golden Lord, Shri Shachi Nandan, always be manifest in the core of your heart. He mercifully descended in the age of Kali to give the wealth of devotion to himself, the supremely exalted Madhur Ras, which had never been given before. So that's Atyanta Durlabha Prem, Koribaridan. Now we come to Shikai Śaraṇāgati. He taught Shikai Śaraṇāgati, which is the Bhakater Pran, which is the life of the devotee. Śaraṇāgati, surrender, means to take shelter of the Lord in all respects. Śaraṇāgati is defined in essence in Sri Prapanna Jivanamritam 135. Oh, and we just read this we read this in the preface, this definition. So let's read it again. It'd be good to become clear on this. Bhagavad Bhaktita Sarvam Ityutsrija Viderapi Kainkaryam Kṛṣṇa-caitanya Shrayatvam Śaraṇāgati. Having faith that everything is attained by serving the Supreme Lord, abandoning subservience to even scriptural injunctions, and taking shelter of Sri Krishna's feet exclusively is known as Śaraṇāgati. And all these definition verses, I think it's really important to learn every definition verse and learn the Sanskrit so that we can know precisely the meaning. Not just have some general idea of what Śaraṇāgati is, but know the exact, very precise meaning. So I think over this program, I'll continue going over these verses until we become very, very familiar with all the Sanskrit in them as well. And yesterday I was explaining Bhakater Pran means it's the life of the devotees. And so this is what gives the devotees life, all these activities of Śaraṇāgati. And when we are not doing these activities of Śaraṇāgati, then whatever we do in bhakti, all of our sadhana, everything we do is mechanical and lifeless and doesn't have much benefit. But Śaraṇāgati is what gives life to our devotional practices as well. It makes chanting juicy and relishable. It makes everything we do in bhakti joyful and like that, Yeah. So Dainya, Atma Nived, this book is going to be divided according to each one of these limbs here. So first is Dainya, that's humility. Then Atma Nivedan, submission of the self. Goptritve Varana, that is acceptance of the Lord as one's only maintainer. And actually this Goptritve Varan is said to be the Angi. It is the main thing. And then all the other limbs of Śaraṇāgati are like branching off. They're all the Angas of this Angi, of Goptritve Varan, acceptance of the Lord as one's only maintainer. So we'll go more deep into that. What does that actually mean? Then Avashya Rakshibe Krishna Vishwas Palan. Having faith, maintaining faith that in Krishna's protection, Krishna will certainly protect me, having this faith. Avashya means certainly, Rakhive, he will protect Krishna. So Krishna will certainly protect me. And then Vishwas Palan. Palan means to foster, to maintain that kind of vishwas, that kind of firm belief. Don't need to worry about anything else. Krishna will surely protect me in all circumstances. So now here are Srila Sridhara Gosvāmī Mahārāja's explanations of each one of these. What time is it? 7:48. Okay, we have 10 more minutes. Actually, we're going to go through all these definitions very carefully and a lot of detail, understanding each one of these Sanskrit words. But because we only have 10 minutes left, I'm going to leave this for the next session, because I want to keep these programs under an hour. Okay, so we'll go over all these 6 limbs of Śaraṇāgati tomorrow. Now we come to Śaraṇāgati Hoy be jahan. Oh wait, let's read the translation for this. So then, Bhakti anukula matra karya shrikar, Bhakti pratikula bhava varjanangikar. Acceptance of acts favorable for bhakti, Bhakti anukula matra karya shrikar, and then rejection of that which is unfavorable, Bhakti pratikula bhav varjanangikar. Varjana, rejection. There's shrikar means accepting, and varjana means rejecting. These are the 2 key words here. Accepting what's anukul, and varjana, rejecting which is pratikul. And yeah, we'll go through these definitions tomorrow. But now, the 5th verse. Śaraṇāgati hoy be jahar. So whoever has these 6 limbs of Śaraṇāgati, whoever embodies these 6 limbs of Śaraṇāgati, then tahar prarthana, that his prayers or her prayers, shune, is heard, hears Shri Nanda Kumar. Shri Nanda Kumar hears that person's prarthana, that person's prayers. So if we want to have a direct link to Shri Krishna, if we want to have direct access for him to directly hear us, Like imagine if the president of the United States, you had a way to contact him directly. You had his number, and whatever you said to him, he would directly read. Well, we have that with Sri Krishna through Śaraṇāgati. So once we are surrendered, then Krishna will directly hear our prayers. Until then, our prayers are not going to be full of very much feeling or anything like that. It's not going to be sincere, and so Krishna is not going to hear our prayers. So it's this gives us direct access to Krishna. Śaranga Śaraṇāgati.
Who hears the prayers then? Before Śaraṇāgati, who hears?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I think it's
Gurudev, Shri Guru and Vaishnavas hear our prayers primarily, yes.
Yeah, and that's why we pray to Shri Guru and the Vaishnavas. That there's that song Kabe Shri Chaitanya More Kori Venadoya, right? We pray to the Vaishnavas to please pray to Krishna on our behalf, because Krishna doesn't hear our prayers. So then we pray to the Guru and Vaishnavas, and then on our behalf, the Vaishnavas will pray for us, and then Krishna will hear the Vaishnavas' prayer for us, and then Krishna will bestow his mercy. It's such a beautiful song. Kabe Shri Chaitanya More Kori Ve. Thank you for bringing up that point. I wasn't even thinking of that. Yeah. Okay, so Śaranga Śaraṇāgati. That means to surrender in this sixfold ways. The shad means six, anga means limb or asset, facet, or limb sounds weird to me, but anyways, 6 limbs, sixfold, Śarāṇāgati. So the 6 aspects of surrender are defined within the Sri Vayu Purana and the Vaishnav Tantra. Oh, and there's a very amazing discovery by my godbrother Sundar Gopal Prabhu. The Vaishnav Tantra just is like a general word, like a Vaishnav Tantra. There isn't a book called the Vaishnav Tantra, but he found out which Vaishnav Tantra it is. He discovered it. It's the Lakshmi Tantra, and that is the original place where this verse is written. And it's very interesting to see the context of how this fits in within like the verses before and after this. Maybe I can ask. Anyways, let's continue on though. We'll go through that later on maybe. So anukulyasya sankalpa, accepting everything favorable. Pratikulya vivarjanam, rejecting everything unfavorable. Then rakshishyatiti vishvaso, being confident that Krishna will grant his protection. Then goptritve varanam tata, and embracing Krishna's guardianship. Goptritve, and that's the angi, the main limb out of all these. This goptritve varanam, accepting that Krishna is my guardian. Then atma nikshepa means fully offering oneself to Krishna, and karpanye, feeling oneself to be lowly, are the 6 aspects of Śaraṇāgati. Then prarthana shune, Sri Nandakumar hears their prayers, somebody who is Śaraṇāgata. This means Krishna reciprocates with the surrendered souls in accordance with their prayers. Krishna will definitely reciprocate with us according to our prayers if we're surrendered. Now here's a verse from the Ramayana, the Yuddha Kanda, chapter 18, verse 33. Sakrid eva prapanno yas tavasmiti chayachate abhayam sarvada tasmai tadam yetad vratam mama. Ramachandra proclaims, anyone who even once sincerely surrenders unto me, declaring, I am yours, and prays for fearlessness, it is my vow that I will always grant that to them. Wow, beautiful. This is my vrat, my vow, that I will always grant them fearlessness. Okay, now we come to the 6th verse. With a straw between his teeth, Dante Trina, and remember there's that little apostrophe there, so that's Dante Trina Koriya. But Rupa Sanatana Pade, Dante Trina Kori, Bhakti Vinod Pade, Dunhu Padadori. Bhakti Vinod, he falls. Pade means to fall. Like if you see, Pade means at the feet, and then you see this under this D, there's a Ara. So pore means to fall. So he falls at the feet. And duhu means the both. Pada, both of their feet. Dhoriya, embracing their feet, holding on to their feet. So with a straw between his teeth, Srila Bhaktivinoda prostrates before Sri Rupa and Sanatan, embracing their lotus feet. Sri Rupa Sanatan pode, dante trina kori, bhakti vinod pore, duhum pada dhori. So Sri Rupa Sanatan, Sri Rupa Gosvāmī Prabhu and Srila Sanatan Gosvāmī Prabhu are the two acharyas who teach Śaraṇāgati. So throughout all these prayers of Śaraṇāgati that we're going to be going through every single day, we should be praying to Rupa and Sanatan, who are the two acharyas who teach. They are the original teachers. They are the teachers, the authorities on Śaraṇāgati that we take shelter of throughout this whole program. Rupa and Sanatan. And so while he's falling at their feet, embracing their lotus feet, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Kandiya, he is weeping, continuously weeping. In Bengali, when you repeat a word twice, it means continuously. Kandiya. So continuously weeping. Bole, he says, Ami to adham, I, and to is, this is a difficult word to translate to, but it kind of gives emphasis, like, I'm indeed the most fallen. Ami to adham, shikaye Śaraṇāgati. Having taught me Śaraṇāgati, koro he utam, make me an excellent Vaishnav. We'll go through this case here in the Sanskrit. Shikaye, this is called the infinitive. And but we'll go through that in a future class, the Bengali aspect of it. But yeah, please make me an excellent koro he utam. Make me utam. Make me. Let's read Srila Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja's explanation on this word. He says, Uttam is elevated. This refers to one who is qualified for the topmost form of devotion, Prem Bhakti. In Srimad Bhagavatam 11.11.32, Krishna says, Agayaivam gunan doshan mayadhishtan api svakan dharman santyajaya sarvan mam bhajet sachat sattama. Realizing the qualities and faults of the socio-religious system, the Varnashram Dharma, which I have instituted, one who completely abandons it and serves me is the best of all sadhus. It's interesting. After seeing the guna, the qualities and the dosha of Varnashram Dharma, so after understanding what are the guna and dosha of this, then after that, dharma santyaja, then giving it up. And that person who, means who, sarvam, who completely in all ways, mam bhajet, who worships me, that person is uttama. And that's also like the verse, sarvadhamam parityaja mamekam sharanam bhaja. Yes. All right. So it is now 2 minutes until 8 o'clock. It's almost been an hour, so we will end here. I guess the Bengali lesson for today is just that, the words being elongated. I'm just going to do a very tiny little thing every day. So that's today's one. One is that the apostrophe after verbs is a contraction of iya, which we'll go over later on. And then the other thing is words are sometimes elongated in the songs to make it fit the meter. Also, another thing, we'll go over this again, but usually the short A's at the ends of words in Bengali, most of the time it is not pronounced in speech. But in the kirtans, they can be optionally spoken. Oh, and actually in Bengali, when there's a conjunct, that means when there are two consonants without a verb in between, like an example is bhakta. It's, you see a K and a T. There's no verb in between the K and the T. So it's kta, kta. So when the last syllable is conjunct like that, then you always pronounce the A at the end. It's not like that with Hindi. In Hindi, you'll hear people say dharm and koram, but in Bengali, you'll always say dharmo or kormo, like that. Yeah. So in this songbook here, what I did was all these A's at the ends that you don't need to pronounce, I made them gray. So it's optional. lots of times you do pronounce them to make it fit the meter nicely, but you don't need to pronounce them also. It's optional. Yeah, unless there's a conjunct at the end. The last syllable is a conjunct. We can go, all these things I'll go over multiple times, so you don't need to catch everything just now. But all right, so I think I'm not going to sing the song over again because I want to be respectful of your time and keep this under an hour. So that will be our program for today. Tomorrow, I was planning tomorrow to go through Puliya Tomare, Sangsare Asya, but the first song in the section of Dainya, of humility. But I think instead we will go through all of Srila Bhakti Rakṣaka Sridhar Gosvāmī Mahārāja's definitions of each one of these limbs of Śaraṇāgati, which we'll also be going through every day throughout this program. But we'll go through it all in one go, and then we'll go through each one daily. Like we'll spend 4 days going over the definition of Dainya. I think like 9 days going over the definition of Atmani Vedan, like that. So until we become very clear about each limb of Śaraṇāgati. All right, so I'll just do a little Mahamantra, and we'll end there. I'm happy that I'm not keeping Kṛṣṇa-caitanya up way too late now. Our Chaitanya Bhagavat programs were an hour and a half, and so it was like 11 o'clock at night by the time that ended for those on the East Coast. Okay, so we'll just do a quick Mahamantra and then end for today. And as I mentioned before, some days I will be speaking more, like it'll be more, and then some days we'll just be reading more. It will be depending on every day will be a little bit different. And what I want in the future is to have devotees. I mentioned this yesterday, I'm mentioning it again. I'd like to have different devotees from different sanghas to speak on their favorite songs of Śaraṇāgati, and I'd love to have guest speakers and also guest kirtaniyas to sing the songs. So I'm hoping that, I'd love to hear your ideas also of who I can have on. Please send them to me. Already some devotees sent me some ideas, and so I'm taking note of them. I'm going to make a list, and then I'll reach out to all these people. All right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Vinod, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Bhakti Vinod. Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. I'll do shortened Jai Devani. I won't do a long one. And just one thing, I know in our WhatsApp groups, the interactive WhatsApp groups, there were a bunch of comments on like a bunch of messages to do with the Bengali language and some other things. Also about the melody, I think. I haven't gotten to those messages. I just need to get myself together. But after that, I'll participate a lot more in those discussions. Just wanted to let you know. All right. Jai Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai. Shishi Radha Madhav ki Jai. Shishi Gaur Gadadhar ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Gurudev ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Param Gurudev ki Jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nugagoriya Guru Varga ki Jai. Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gana ki Jai. Shri Giriraj Mahārāja ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai. Jai Shri Śaraṇāgati ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupa Sanatan, the acharyas of teaching Śaraṇāgati ki jai. Jai Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam. Everybody in the line in the dhara of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Bhakti Alok Paramahansa Mahārāja ki jai. Tadya Shubha Avirbhav Titi ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. And the Laghu-candrikā-bhāṣya of Śrīla Bhakti Rakṣaka Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Okay. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vancha Vrindaya Tulsi Devaya Priyaya Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Sattvatāya Namo Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. All right, so thank you so much for joining. I think at the end can be time if anybody has anything they want to discuss. Now anybody can go, so pranams to anybody who's leaving now, but if anybody has anything they want to discuss, or any questions or comments or anything, this is your chance. Otherwise, we can end it here. So yeah, does anybody have any point they want to mention? Yes, Gauranga Prabhu. You can, if you want, you could turn on your mic and ask your question. You don't need to write a comment. I'm not sure how well I'll be able to answer it, but I'll try my best. And if anybody has a better answer, also you can chime in. Yes.
Prabhu, this melody to sing is a melody to use only in morning or any time of the day. Has some melody for morning, for nighttime?
That's good question. So yes, there are, well, like with different, like with Indian classical music and maybe even different sampradayas and stuff like that, there's a very in-depth, like they have particular melodies, not just for morning and evening, but for every part of the day. So noontime will be different set of rags that you use, and afternoon will be different, and evening will be different, nighttime will be different. There's like, for every part of the day, there are specific rags. But for us in the line of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, everything's been simplified a lot. He's made it very easy and accessible to everybody. And so we basically just have the morning melody, and then any other melody you can sing any other time of the day. And this is just how I've kind of seen it happen. I mean, like, people don't even really discuss this so much. It's just kind of like something everybody kind of more or less understands. It's not like something very established. And so what I'm saying is not like some super authoritative anything. It's just what I've observed. Is in the there are mainly two morning melodies. There is Manjari would be able to speak a lot more on this. She knows more on this topic than I do. But the general morning melody is na 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 na, and then there's the high part na 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 na. So that melody, those three parts, that can fit on the. Remember I mentioned yesterday there are three different kinds of Bengali meters. There's Payar, that's what this song, Shri Kṛṣṇa-caitanya Prabhu Jīve Doya Kori is. It's 8 syllables, 6 syllables, 8 syllables, 6 syllables. Then there's Laghu Tripadi, which is 6 syllables, 6 syllables, 8 syllables. And then there is Dirgha Tripadi, which is 8 syllables, 8 syllables, 10 syllables. And so those are the three main Bengali meters. And that melody, that morning melody that I just did, can be fit. You can fit that melody into each one of those three meters. And so, but then there's another morning melody that's sung in the temples. And that is, I think it's like, is it exactly Bhairav, or it's like almost Bhairav, but one note's different? I'm not sure. But, and so lots of times, like my Param Gurudev wrote a Mangalarti song, and lots of times, like halfway through the song, they'll change into that melody, or sometimes they'll sing the whole song in that melody. So like, O Mangala Shri Guru Gaura Mangala Murati, O Mangala Śrīdhara Kṛṣṇa Yugala Piriti. And then the high part of that melody is O Mangala Nishanta Lila Mangala Yudaye O Mangala Yarati Jage Bhakata Hridaye. So that's that melody. So more of a kind of like, I don't know what you'd say, like a spooky, mysterious kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, that melody, beautiful melody. So that's another morning melody that we sing in our temples. And then also for the ashtakams, lots of times they just sing like the whatever melody for the ashtakams, all the Sanskrit things like that. They won't sing it. Sometimes you can sing it in a morning melody, like there's the morning melody, Sangsara Dava Nalalira Loka Tranaya Karunya Gana Ganatam. But yeah, you can. Lots of times they'll just sing like the normal whatever melody we sing it in the morning time, and then every other melody can be sung at the other times of the day. Yeah. Yeah, and we'll go more in depth with the melodies. Like there's a main morning melody and then also a main evening melody, which is safe. Like you can sing that melody for any song, and that melody is able to, like that. It's a special melody that kind of encompasses all moods. It encompasses happiness, sadness, separation, like all different. It's like a very amazing melody. So we'll go over that also, the evening melody that you can use for all the songs, and those 3 different meters. All right, so is that, hopefully that answered the question. Okay, and there's a lot more to say on this topic, but I don't want to go on forever. So
yes, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Hari Bol. All right, so is that everything, or does anybody have anything else? Okay, so we'll end it there. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Please also, as I mentioned yesterday, please always send me feedback. Tell me if you think I'm rambling on too long, or if you'd like me to go more in depth on something. Like I really appreciate getting feedback. It's not like, you don't need to think it's like criticizing me or anything like that. I don't take it like that. I take it as like, it's helpful. So, all right, Haribol. All right, Dandavat Pranams. I'll just see everybody who's there. 1 second. There is Sarveshwari Didi, Pranams, Ashray Prabhu, Simran Pendkar, Manjulali Didi, Guru Nishta Prabhu, Manjali Didi, Kuranga Prabhu, Shri Devi Didi, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Archana Didi, Gopal Ghanasham, Subhadra Didi, Satya Mataji, Shrupananda Prabhu, Amal Krishna Prabhu, Indira Mataji, Anjali Didi, Champak Mataji, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Shruti Gorang Didi, Kana Didi, or I don't know who you are. But yeah, and then Indira Mataji, my dear brother Krishna Murari, Pramila Mataji, Indu Mohini, Vidya Lalasa, Rup Manjari Didi, Nitai, Rasaraj Prabhu, Brinda Didi, Namras Prabhu, Rasa Priya. My God, there's so many people. I'm not used to this. Amit Dandekar, Bangsiwala Prabhu, Suman Prabhu, and a bunch of others. Pranams, everybody. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna Anjali.